are? Yeah. Well, good morning. It's a packed house. Good morning, and welcome to our annual State of the County Address. My name is Kay Timbo, and I serve as a Community Relations Coordinator. At this time, thank you, Kim. At this time, I'd like you to join me in introducing our chair, Mark Jarrell.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's really an honor for me to be here today. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for my first State of the County address. And so as I'm standing here today, I have to tell everybody that I'm just filled with a ton of excitement. I'm filled with a ton of optimism. And I'm really excited when I think about all the things that we've accomplished as a community. And then I have a lot of optimism when I think about where we're going and what lies ahead. And it is one of the honors of my life to be able to serve as the chair of the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. And I only get that opportunity because of my wonderful colleagues. And before I go any further, I want to acknowledge my colleagues, many of whom I've had the pleasure of serving with for a very long time. And I'm going to start with our Vice Chair, Lee Altman. Stand up, Lee. Stand up. So Commissioner Altman is serving at large in her third term. She's also our representative on the Metropolitan Transit Commission and also the Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Commission. And next at large is Arthur Griffin. So Commissioner Griffin obviously is no stranger to any of us. He chairs the Health and Human Services Committee. He's serving in his second term, so he's no longer a rookie. But we do have a rookie on the team, and that is Commissioner Yvette Townsend Ingram, our newly elected at-large commissioner who's come in like gangbusters. She's a champion for behavioral health services, so we're so glad to have her. And then, of course, I'm going to start at the district level. We'll start at District 1. My good friend, Commissioner Elaine Powell, who chairs our Environmental Stewardship Committee. And so I have to note that Commissioner Powell previously served as our vice chair for 5 years, and she's serving in her fourth term. I don't see the commissioner from the most powerful district. Who am I talking about, everybody? You all know who that is. That's right, Commissioner Leek. We'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge her, the chair, the county commissioner from District 2. She also is the chair of our new ad hoc seniors committee, and she's actually currently serving in her 9th term on the board. Next up is our commissioner from District 5. She is the chair of our Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Her name is Commissioner Laura Meyer. Commissioner Meyer, or as she's affectionately known as Myra, is serving. That's an internal board joke, everybody. She's currently serving in her 3rd term and has been doing amazing work. Next, we have the commissioner from District 6. She is the chair of our Economic Development Committee, Susan Rodriguez McDowell. And Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell is currently serving in her 4th term on the board. And Commissioner Rodriguez McDowell, myself, and Commissioner Powell, we all came in together. So we have a pretty special bond. Am I forgetting anybody? Let me see. I might be forgetting someone at this point. but we can't. Last, but certainly not least, serving in his 9th term on the board, our former board chair and also our chair emeritus. He is also big shot. He's the 2nd vice president of the National Association of Counties. Please help me honor Commissioner George Dunlap, representing District 3. So I had a lot to say at this point, but I have to take this opportunity to say some things about Commissioner Dunlap. Commissioner Dunlap's experienced leadership spans over 30 years of public service, from his time in law enforcement, the military, service on the school board, and to his work with the National Association of Counties has been crucial to our board and our county. During his 6 years as chairman of this board, Commissioner Dunlap was the resilient and strong leader that led us through various critical times, including the pandemic and the post-pandemic recovery efforts. And I can say, and I know you all agree, that our community is in a better place because of his thoughtful and compassionate leadership. And as we look ahead, there's no doubt that his work as a bridge builder, his work as an advocate on the local, state, and national level will continue to create greater opportunities for Mecklenburg County. So again, Commissioner Dunlap, thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to the entire board. It's so great to look out and see you all right in front of me. Just thank you for your vote of confidence in me and your just amazing commitment to our county and all of our residents. And as you all know, our work as a board wouldn't be possible without the expertise and dedication of our exceptional county staff. And that staff is under the leadership of Dina DiOrio and her executive team. And I'd like to acknowledge our deputy county managers. I'm going to start with our deputy county manager and chief of staff, Derek Ramos. Deputy County Manager Michael Bryant. Deputy County Manager Dr. Leslie Johnson. And Deputy County Manager Anthony Trotman. So over the last decade, Mecklenburg County has had the fortune of being led by a compassionate, confident, and as you all know, a very decisive leader in Dina DiOrio. And we all know that Dina's preparing for her next chapter, and I certainly want to thank her on behalf of the board, myself personally, and the community. I want to thank you, Dina, for your service, for your dedication, and your hard work. Just thank you so much. Dina's legacy and contributions to this community are definitely cemented in our ongoing programs, and we know that they'll have a lasting impact long after her retirement this June. And so at this time, I'd like to ask Dina and her entire team to please stand and be recognized for your shared collective contributions to our community. The county's work is a result of a cross-section of contributors. And so it is really important for me to acknowledge the more than 524 members of our advisory boards, along with our partners and elected officials from Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, where we have our chair here, the city of Charlotte, we have some council members here, the towns of Davidson, Cornelius, Huntersville, Matthews, Mint Hill, and Pineville. And at this time, I'd like to ask all representatives in the chamber from these entities to please stand and be recognized. So as we get the opportunity to gather in the chamber today, more than 6,000 county employees are interacting with and providing services to the more than 1.1 million residents that reside in our community. And so I want to take a moment to also uplift those dedicated public servants, especially those who couldn't be with us in person because of the nature of their work. So from our park rangers to our social workers, our permitting and inspection teams, to our deputies, nurses, and code enforcement workers, our property assessors, we owe a debt of gratitude to all our county employees. Now, before I go any further, I would be remiss, and I am so honored to be able to do this. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that this is Women's History Month. And I got to make it home as well. So women have and will continue to be the propelling force for our shared successes. From the Board of County Commissioners, where we have 6 women serving and leading. To our county leadership teams and our staff, our work is transformative because of the women of Mecklenburg County. And I want you to know that we appreciate each and every one of you. Collectively, Mecklenburg County is more focused than ever in our quest to address some of the growing needs of a community of our size. You may remember last year our board reaffirmed our budget priorities, which are housing insecurity, early childhood development, educational attainment, environmental stewardship, health access, workforce development, and reducing racial disparities as a cross-cutting factor. As a county, for the FY25 budget, we took a bold approach in leveraging the revenue growth at the time, along with some of the federal funds we received as part of the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA. So these funding streams allowed us to respond to challenges in unprecedented and innovative ways, resulting in $152.8 million in new investments toward our board's budget priorities. During last year's State of the County address, you heard about the historic surge in housing prices and the significant impact it had on increasing property values, revenue, and growth. In collaboration with our community partners, we made great strides when it came to improving the lives of our residents, notably as it pertained to our board priorities. We are extremely proud of our efforts, and today I'll be outlining some of the outcomes associated with those strategies. And as I address you this morning, it comes as no secret that Mecklenburg County, like many jurisdictions of our size, is projected to see a slowdown in revenue growth. Our revenue growth hasn't kept up with inflation or the steadily increasing demand for services. So in response to this reality, we'll have to make some tough and very important decisions to help us remain fiscally responsible and sustain the critical services that we're responsible for providing. Despite the slowdown in our government's revenue growth, Mecklenburg County remains an economic engine in our state and our region. We continue to strengthen the economic well-being of our community and residents through various initiatives and programs spearheaded by our Office of Economic Development. In our current fiscal year, we celebrated several announcements that will be vital to our growth, especially when it comes to funding future expenditures. Detrapel, a clean tech advanced materials company, announced that it will be investing in new headquarters facility in Mecklenburg County. Groninger USA LLC, it's a leading international manufacturer of filling and closing machines for the pharmaceutical, consumer healthcare, and cosmetics industries. Along with RXO, a high-tech freight transportation broker, will be expanding their operations right here in Mecklenburg County. So if you clap for that, you'll clap for this. These three announcements account for an estimated $32.3 million in new investments and are set to retain more than 800 jobs while bringing in 406 new positions. In January, the Board of County Commissioners approved an economic development project that we all love called Providence Square. This public-private partnership will result in about $500 million of new investment, along with 108 workforce and affordable housing units for our community. This is the part that I really love, because the tax revenue generated by this project will initially net the county $1.3 million annually, but once the allocated incentives expire, the tax revenue will increase to $2.4 million annually. And the reason why that's so important is because this is a significant amount of tax dollars that won't have to come from our residents. We are aware that upward mobility is vital to all our shared economic goals and aspirations, and diversifying our growth will not only be transformational, but it's critical. As a result, we continue to proactively engage with our local jurisdictions to bolster our shared economy. Through our Township Connections initiative, we're bringing Mecklenburg County small business services to the towns of Cornelius, Davidson, Huntersville, Matthews, Mint Hill, and Pineville. In turn, we've developed program-specific outcomes to address each town's unique challenges and business needs, thereby significantly impacting business owners and entrepreneurs throughout the county. As a county, we also understand that we can't base our economic model solely on any company's individual desire to move or expand in our community. This is why we continue to invest in development programs and initiatives that are critical to the success of our small businesses and entrepreneurs. Through programs like our Business Launchpad, the What's Next series, along with Get Up and Grow, we're equipping businesses and entrepreneurs with knowledge, skills, and connections to help them scale successfully. Furthermore, we continue to invest in a great program, and it is called MeckLending. MeckLending is a program designed to support qualifying local small business owners with access to capital. To date, our MeckLending program has been able to disperse over $3.2 million in direct loans. These are snapshots of some of our accomplishments related to the county's ongoing efforts to strengthen our local economy. The Board of County Commissioners is well aware that a strong workforce is vital to our economic growth and stability. As a result, we continue to make a series of funding allocations to reaffirm our commitment to workforce development. For our current fiscal year, we invested $844,000 to continue the Meck Success pilot program. That program provides a two-generation approach for education, job readiness, and other services to help achieve economic mobility. We also allocated $683,000 to continue education and employment trips that were initiated with ARPA funding, and $185,000 to continue the Pivot internship program in northern Mecklenburg County that creates pathways for high school students in manufacturing. In an effort to fast-track the time it takes our unemployed and underemployed residents to get into high-paying careers, we invested $50,000 for the Office of Economic Development's Career Expo for job readiness training and career workshops. And as a result of this investment, last month, we were able to connect more than 350 job seekers to careers in the advanced manufacturing, construction, and facilities maintenance management industries, a significant breakthrough for our upward mobility efforts. And with that being said, at this time, I'd like to ask representatives of the organizations and departments currently working on our economic and workforce development efforts to please stand and be recognized. Thank you all. So, you know we can't talk about workforce or economic development without addressing the critical role that our education system plays in the process. Our current budget invests $73.4 million in Central Piedmont Community College and $849 million for Charlotte Mecklenburg schools. I think the chair of the school board was asking everybody to stand on that one. As chair of the board, I appreciate these cross-functional relationships that the county has with our partners at CMS and our higher education institutions. Personally, I believe that our ability to continue to have honest, holistic, and transparent discussions will be instrumental to the success of our students, teachers, and our academic institutions. In addition to our education attainment priority, the board's commitment to early childhood development efforts is stronger, it's bolder, and it's more targeted than ever. We know that a strong start in early childhood education is a precursor for future success. This is why we continue to invest in critical programs that will be transformational in the development of our children. Recently, Charlotte Mecklenburg was designated as one of the few major metro areas in the U.S. to receive a gold medal from the City Health Initiative for high quality and accessible pre-K. That's a resounding testament to the success of our programming. Through MEC Pre-K, our award-winning pre-K education program, the county continues to see positive results from our program participants. Recent data shows that in terms of early literacy development, MEC Pre-K graduates perform better on CMS kindergarten entry examinations than the district average. These findings are a clear indication of the efficacy associated with the program's curriculum. The county is proud to have allocated $23 million this year in support of MEC Pre-K and is pleased with the program's ability to enroll over 1,800 students in the current school year. Aside from our efforts through MEC Pre-K, the county invested $986,000 in additional funds to support our early childhood development priority. For the first time, a monthly average of more than 7,000 children receive subsidized child care services as part of our commitment to the county's early childhood development and other county initiatives. Our work on the Prenatal to 3 strategic plan, which includes focusing on enhancing prenatal to 3 data collection, collaborating with families and community partners, and enhancing navigation and referral procedures, also supports our childhood development initiatives. At this time, I'd like to ask representatives of the organizations and departments currently working on education attainment and our early childhood development initiatives to please stand and be recognized. Our county continues to place great stock on increasing and improving access to healthcare resources. For that reason, we invested $11 million toward the efforts. The county's support was critical in opening multiple new primary care facilities serving our uninsured and underinsured residents. This includes C.W. Williams Community Health Center, the Charlotte is Home Center, the Sugar Creek Health Center, and the Katie Blessing Foundation in partnership with StarMed. The unique needs of our diverse population require a diverse service delivery model. So when it comes to critical services, we also recognize that we simply can't rely on our residents to come to us for assistance. Instead, whenever possible, it's always important for us to go and meet our residents where they are. As part of our efforts, Mecklenburg County launched a dental mobile unit in November 2024, which joins 2 other mobile units that are improving access to care for our residents. While our public health department's mobile fleet, with our public health department's mobile fleet, we can better serve our residents in a more equitable and dignified manner. Like many counties nationwide, Mecklenburg continues to grapple with the increasing opioid-related deaths and overdoses in our community, especially the 200% rise in overdoses among our Black and Hispanic residents since 2019. In response to the opioid overdose epidemic, we're working with the Medical Examiner's Office and MEDIC on enhanced surveillance efforts to better understand the impact of opioids locally and inform prevention and intervention strategies. With the support of Mecklenburg County's opioid settlement funding, our public health department, along with our community partners, distributed nearly 17,000 doses of naloxone in 2024. Our continued intervention in response to our behavioral health-related emergencies will be critical to our ability to care for our most vulnerable residents. Mecklenburg County's commitment to our community's behavioral health needs will persist beyond the availability of the National Opioid Settlement Funds. Later this year, we'll be moving forward with the implementation phase of our behavioral health strategic plan. So this is a plan designed to help guide the use of public funding for behavioral health services in our community. In alignment with our health access priority, we continue to invest and support key initiatives that will lead to sustainable access to healthy food options for all of our residents. Through investments in our farmers market and healthy corner stores program, we're able to provide healthier food options for our residents, especially those living in low-access food areas. Our award-winning Edible Landscapes program continues to establish community gardens and orchards in underserved communities, providing fresh fruits and vegetables to residents who live there. As part of our senior nutrition's food security programs, 5,244 seniors received nutrition support this fiscal year. This includes services through our congregate, home delivery, and mobile market initiatives. Just this fiscal year alone, more than 430,000 meals were served through our Hot Meals and Homebound Meals program. We acknowledge that access to healthy food options isn't simply rooted in the lack of providers. It's also based on the lack of transportation. Keeping with our approach to bring resources to those in need, we also expanded our mobile market program by adding 4 new locations. As a result, we were able to distribute a total of 138,000 pounds of produce and groceries at 20 mobile market locations throughout Mecklenburg County. In the coming year, with the help of our community partners, we hope to be able to expand our efforts. I'd like to ask representatives of the organizations and departments that are actively working on our access to health and our food insecurity initiatives to please stand and be recognized. As a county, we acknowledge the strong correlation between the health and well-being of our residents and the environment. This is why we continue to support and invest in our environmental stewardship efforts. Big smile from Commissioner Powell. Our current budget allocated $50.8 million to advance our environmental stewardship priorities, which are geared towards preserving and protecting the county's environmental resources. These critical investments have allowed us to fund the maintenance, development, and acquisition of parks, greenways, and open space. Just this year alone, we acquired 328 acres of new parkland in support of this priority, adding to the already 1,648 acres that we acquired over the previous 4 years. Furthermore, our efforts have allowed us to treat 1,500 acres of parklands for invasive species and expand our Greenway Trail system, which currently includes 75.4 miles of trail. As a result of our long-standing work in this space, I'm happy to share that Mecklenburg County currently meets all federal health-based air quality standards and has previously exceeded the standard for ground level ozone. Our park and rec facilities remain the vessels for healthier and stronger communities. By the end of the current fiscal year, we're projecting almost 2 million patrons to visit our recreation centers and an estimated 16 million to visit the other various park and recreation amenities spread across the county. Our work in this category, along with the work of our Historic Landmark Commission, has also afforded us the opportunity to reimagine how we preserve our history. And a good example of this is the county's work at Historic Latta Place, where we've just completed the design phase based on input from our community, and we'll be unveiling the site plans tomorrow at the North County Regional Library in Huntersville. So at this time, I'd like to ask representatives of the organizations and departments working on environmental stewardship, historic landmarks, as well as our park and rec related initiatives to please stand and be recognized. Housing insecurity is one of our current board priorities, and we all know it couldn't be timelier. According to the recently released State of Housing Instability and Homeless Report, we are experiencing a 3% increase in homelessness across the county, and this is actually similar to national data. And as I stand before you today, I'd like to assure you and all of our residents that our commitment to our unsheltered population, those under a significant rent burden, and those seeking the path to home ownership remains unwavering. With our housing insecurity priority, we set out to reduce the number of residents experiencing homelessness while advancing stable, affordable housing options for all county residents. In 2024, our community support services homelessness prevention efforts helped more than 200 people avoid becoming unsheltered. Those efforts involve providing one-time financial assistance to vulnerable populations such as families fleeing domestic violence, our seniors, and large families who would be difficult to rehouse if they entered homelessness. At the end of the second quarter of FY25, our criminal justice services helped house 166 justice-involved individuals through its vendor housing program. In service to our housing insecurity priority, we remain dedicated to a broad and an integrated approach to addressing housing instability by focusing on critical home repairs, eviction prevention and diversion, along with the promotion of naturally occurring affordable housing. Most of us know that as NOAH. Since FY20, there have been more than 350 critical home repairs completed. 119 of those repairs took place in the current fiscal year. During the same time frame, as part of our eviction prevention services, we provided legal advice to more than 2,800 individuals, legal representation to more than 3,200 individuals, and prevented or deferred nearly 1,800 evictions. So regarding the promotion of naturally occurring affordable housing, we continue to make great strides. By the end of 2024, we had successfully moved 509 new households into our portfolio of 1,400 units. And I'd like to highlight that to date, close to 56% of the units subsidized by the county went to our seniors. Over the last fiscal year, Mecklenburg County, in collaboration with the City of Charlotte and the town of Davidson, distributed more than $4.1 million through our homes program. That's a lot of money. That resulted in over 5,000 households receiving assistance. Our homes program provides relief for some of our most vulnerable homeowners across the county. And as a result of our efforts, and I'm going to read this out by district, okay? In District 1, more than 600 homes applications were approved, resulting in over $476,000 in relief for homeowners. Yeah. In Districts 2 and 3, more than 1,300 applications were approved in each district, resulting in over $1 million of relief for families in each district. In District 4, my home district, we had 970 approved applications, resulting in over $769,000 in relief for homeowners. We can't leave out 5 and 6. So in Districts 5 and 6, we had 931 combined applications approved, resulting in over $700,000 of relief. So at this time, I'd like to ask representatives of the organizations and departments that are currently actively working on housing security initiatives to please stand and be recognized. So we're aware that we cannot address all our needs on our own, and this is why we continue to engage with our local, state, and federal partners on matters that are anchored in our board and legislative priorities. Our legislative priorities this year consist of supporting funding to counties, supporting greater flexibility for counties, supporting equity and inclusion efforts. I'm going to say that one more time. Supporting equity and inclusion efforts. Opposing the removal of authority from counties, and opposing unfunded mandates or cost shifts. And as we work towards these priorities, it's not lost on me that there's a lot of uncertainty in the halls of Congress, at the General Assembly, and in our community as it relates to possible shifts in policy, possible shifts in customs, and possible shifts in norms. During this time of great volatility, Mecklenburg County remains vigilant and clear-eyed in the pursuit of solutions and finding common ground. Earlier this month, members of the board and the county manager's executive team traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet and engage our federal lawmakers, and we continue to work with our state and local leaders in service to our residents. Mecklenburg County continues to search for opportunities to enhance our operations without neglecting our core responsibilities and our commitment to the public. On the heels of our financial forecast, the board directed our county manager and her team to reassess and realign resources to further minimize risks and maximize the successes associated with our future investments. There's absolutely no denying the simple truth that the path ahead will require some financial adjustments. However, I'd like to assure our residents that our commitment to their well-being remains unwavering. Last month, the board outlined our new budget priorities for the upcoming fiscal year. The realigned priorities consist of health equity and wellness, education, services for seniors, workforce development, environmental stewardship, and economic development. In addition to these, nothing's changed. Reducing racial disparities continues to be a cross-cutting priority for our board. And as it relates to our equity work, we remain committed to the needs, desires, and aspirations of our community, especially when it comes to strengthening accessibility and inclusivity. As a county, we're dedicated to the ideals we first began to implement over 6 years ago with our initial Equity Action Plan, and our commitment to reducing racial disparities reaffirms our decision to constantly examine what it means to serve every person in Mecklenburg County and to serve them well. To be clear, our realigned new priorities are not meant to misdiagnose the challenges that many in our community are experiencing. We're well aware of the other challenges that our residents are facing related to affordable housing, transportation, public safety, livable wages, and so much more. Our promise and commitment to our community is that we will continue to make sure that those concerns inform all of our actions. Today's update was not meant to distort some of the realities that exist in our communities. Instead, it's meant to shed light on our growth, our progress, while also outlining our strategy for even greater success. Now, regarding the pressing question at hand, what is the state of our county? Well, the answer is clear. The state of Mecklenburg County is strong and robust. From the town of Davidson to Cornelius, Huntersville to Charlotte, Matthews to Pineville, Mint Hill, and all our unincorporated areas, the state of Mecklenburg County continues to be strong and robust because of our dynamic diversity in our workforce, our institutions of education, our local economy, and yes, our community values. Our diversity has and will continue to serve as the catalyst for our strength, for our resilience, and for our success. From the Palisades community to Pottstown, Hidden Valley to Howey Acres, and McCrory Heights to Myers Park, Mecklenburg County will continue to respond to the needs and concerns of all of our citizens wherever and whenever they arise, because we are in the people business, and service is our currency. Our commitment to ensuring we remain the best place to live, work, learn, and recreate, it's not just a tagline, it's not a passive statement. Instead, it enshrines our call to action and remains our mission and our North Star. I'm confident that with the community's support, the community's understanding, and continued engagement, we'll be able to reach the pinnacle of our full potential. So thank you for this time this morning, and most importantly, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve. God bless you.